Hey there, Young Living family. My name is Sarah Harnisch. I am the leader of the Oil Ability team in the United States. I'm a Young Living Platinum. I'm a certified aromatherapist, and I hold 5 certifications in aromatherapy, from biblical oils to raindrop to aromachemisry. And I love talking about essential oils. I'm also a mama to 5 kids, 4 sons, and a princess. And I've traveled all over the world talking about essential oils. It's a passion of mine, and I'm very excited to get to share a little bit about what I know with you in an FDA compliant way about the world of essential oils that we all live in, and the things that I have learned over the last year. It just is absolutely incredible, and it's a passion of mine to get to share it. To share it with you. I've also been a news anchor for the last 18 years, and I just retired after 18 years of anchoring to do Young Living full time. I retired 1 year after I started my Young Living business. And so for 18 years, I've been getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and now I get to sleep in and I get to have time with my baby. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about the business side of Young Living, we'll have information on how to pick up some of my other DVDs at the end of this video. Just watch for it. This class is a 101 course. It's our course that we put together, our team has put together, just to teach you a little bit more on essential oils. It is a ground up, fast-paced, who, what, when, where, why, how of essential oils, everything EO. So let's start at the very, very beginning, which is, what are essential oils? Well, they're the most powerful part of the plant. They're the lifeblood of the plant, and they're distilled from shrubs, flowers, trees, roots, bushes, resins, rinds, herbs. Oils consist of over 100 different naturally occurring chemical compounds that enact change in the plant. And my husband and I had the GAPS diet. So if you've ever heard of the GAPS diet, just take a look at it online, gapsdiet.com. It's the hardest diet on the planet, in my opinion. No sugar, no gluten, no dairy. And we got very, very good at reading labels and flipping things over. And the rule in our house was, if you can't pronounce it, you can't eat it. And my husband didn't like that, because that knocked out about 99% of what he liked to eat in his diet. And he's also a computer scientist. He's a software developer, and he reads all these techie geeky websites. And he came across a website on gizmodo.com where these scientists had taken a banana and they had analyzed it under a microscope, and they found that it had 17 different things in it that you couldn't pronounce. 17 different naturally occurring chemical compounds. And my husband says, well, you can't eat bananas anymore because it's got all this stuff that you can't pronounce in it. And it's the same thing with essential oils. They've got these naturally occurring chemical compounds that work in the human body, and it's just amazing and fascinating to see them work. So these are the parts of the plant that enact change. They're the movers and shakers in the plant world. They're the parts of it that photosynthesize. In humans, oils can provide support for every system in the body. The skeletal system, they support your muscular system, they can support your brain health, they can support your circulatory system and your endocrine system and your hormones. They can help to support a healthy weight. They support your respiratory system and your immune system. They support you when you're surrounded by sickies out there to give you immune support. They can literally support every organ in your body, your liver and your kidneys and your heart and your excretory system and your colon. They're used extensively for emotions and for grounding and for spiritual support in your prayer life. An oil in a diffuser can soothe a tough day for a school child, or providing a calming effect when you've had a really stressful day at work. Oils are used as an alternative to toxic chemicals in your home. You can literally use thieves cleaner in place of 409, Windex, Pine Sol, bleach, and start swapping out every chemical in your home, every chemical toxin cleaning supplies you got, to live a pure lifestyle without breaking the bank. The thieves cleaner that Young Living sells on their site is $22 a bottle, and you take 1 capful and put it in a spray bottle, and that's what I use to wipe down my counters, and I wipe down my bathroom, and I mop my floor with it, and I wipe down my butcher block with it, and my stove, and I clean my windows with it, and it costs me $1 a spray bottle to make that stuff, and it's just plants. It's just plants. It's the purest thing you could possibly clean your house with, and it works. It's amazing. A little history: oils were first mentioned by name in the biblical book of Genesis, indirectly in the Garden of Eden with the mention of aromatic plants, and then directly in Genesis chapter 37 when the slave traders that were selling Joseph carried on their slave caravan spicery, balm, and myrrh, essential oils. And then Genesis ends with the burial of Joseph's father, who was anointed, likely with myrrh oil, because that was one of the most common oils used in burial back in biblical times. And it comes full circle because in the book of Revelation, it talks about in Revelation 22:2, the leaves of the plants were to be used with the nations. It's just amazing. Oils are mentioned in 70% of the books of the Bible, 1,100 times in Scripture. So that's one of my favorite lectures to give, is Essential Oils 103, which is oils of the Bible. And Young Living has an Oils of the Bible kit that they sell that's incredible. And you can smell the smells that Christ smelled when he walked on the earth. I just love it. They found records of one of the oldest cultures on the earth, the Babylonians, placing orders for cedarwood, myrrh, and cypress oils. The ancient Greeks believed that when they died, they went to Elysium, where the air was permanently filled with essential oils, which would be awesome, unless it was the same oil every single day. I think that would get a little bit old. The Egyptians used essential oils for beauty and embalming. Pakistan and Rome used them for communal bathhouses. And the Egyptians had the oldest recorded deodorant recipe using essential oils because their teenagers stank too. They're smelly. Egypt got many of their oils from China and India, and there's evidence that they were used there for 1,000 years before the pharaohs. And they were used by the medieval Europeans. Many of them brought them back during the Crusades. They were used by the Chinese on the Silk Road, and they were used by Christ. Jesus was given gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Frankincense is nicknamed the coconut oil of essential oils because it has like 10,000 uses. And myrrh essential oil also really highly used and prized back in biblical times. So do essential oils work? Well, I'll tell you a little bit about my oil story and how I got involved with oils. About 6 years ago, I started experimenting with them in my home, and lavender smelled really nice in my bath, but it didn't really do anything for me. And I was buying my lavender for $4 a bottle online, and I would get it at farmers markets and at bulk food stores and on Amazon. I want you to know there is no rating system for essential oils in the United States. The closest that we get is an FDA regulation that says that it has to be 10% oil in the bottle to be considered therapeutic grade or organic or pure. So it's not like when you walk into a grocery store and you can flip over a cereal box and you can see all the nutrition facts on it. If you grab oils from 2 different companies, you flip them over and you have no idea what's in the bottle. You don't know. So it's very, very frustrating. Now, this is the most important part of the lecture. So if this is the only thing that you take away from an oilability lecture, this is the one thing I really, really hope that you hold on to. And it's something that I'm very, very passionate about as an aromatherapist. You're using essential oils, or you're considering using them because you want to get rid of some of the yuck in your house. You want to start to live a chemical-free lifestyle, a toxin-free lifestyle, have less toxins in your life. And it matters what type of oil you're using, because some of the extraction methods for oils make them impure. They're no longer less toxic or non-toxic to the system. So there are 4 different types of oils on the earth. There's grade A, grade B, grade C, and grade D. Grade A is therapeutic. It's made from organic plants and distilled at low temperatures. Why does that matter? Well, when you heat an essential oil up, you break down those naturally occurring chemical components. It's not pure anymore. You've destroyed the oil. Cypress oil, for example, if you take cypress and you distill it at the perfect temperature, it's got 288 chemical constituents inside it. But if you heat it up 10 degrees too warm or 10 degrees too cool, it has 11. So it's really important that it's at the perfect temperature from that plant. I love Young Living. I have had the honor of visiting going to Spokane, Washington, and seeing their St. Mary's farm, their living history farm, the farm that started Young Living. And I've had the honor on the Silver Retreat of also going to the Mona farm, which is their corporate farm, the biggest essential oils farm in the world. And it just blows your mind at what this company does to make a pure essential oil. Before they lay the crop down in the ground and they plant all of the seeds, they are methodical about looking into the history of that land. They look back for generations to make sure that that land has never been touched with pesticide or chemicals. Most of the time they're buying cattle land that hasn't been farmland because farmers are spraying their crops and that residue is in the soil. So they go back 100 years and make sure that there is nothing in that soil that could harm the young living plants. Then when they've decided that the crop is that it's a safe place to plant the crop, they come and they test the pH of the soil, they check to make sure it's a safe distance from factories, that the air is pure in that area. And then they plant the seeds, and as those seeds come up out of the ground, it's incredible to watch it. They don't use any pesticide. The only pesticide control that they use are essential oils. And then they hand weed everything. Young Living sells on average 100,000 starter kits around the world every single month. 100,000 kits. That's absolutely crazy. It's amazing. It's amazing. But can you imagine how many fields there are that they have to weed? And they don't spray anything on their field, so everything is hand weeded. One of the things I love about the company is that you can walk onto one of their farms anytime and go through all the doors, open everything up, just walk through it, see how it's all run, grab any of the employees, ask them questions. It's a totally open door policy on their farms, and it's incredible to watch them bring a harvest in, fill up an entire truck, bring it into the distillery, and then put it in the distillery and watch that truck make a bottle of oil. It's just crazy how much plant material goes into making just a little tiny amount of essential oil. I love the stewardship that they have over the plants. It just blows my mind away when you're standing on that field. Chances are if you make it to a field, they're probably going to ask you to help hand weed because all of the fields are all hand weeded, which is just absolutely crazy. But as it gets closer and closer for harvest to come in, their scientists will go out into the field, and every 2 hours they're taking samples out of those fields and they're micro distilling to see if they're at the peak medicinal value. So I tell people our family is huge on supporting small farmers and small businesses. We're really, really big on that. We try to buy all of our produce local, and we try to get our grass-fed beef from local farmers. But when it comes to essential oils, Young Living is the only company that I trust. And I know they're the largest oils company in the world, but they are my go-to company. And the reason is they have the resources to do it right. A mom and pop shop does not have the ability to go out every 2 hours for weeks and micro distill dozens of different plants, to make sure that they're catching it at the peak quality of its medicinal value. And I want to make sure that it's really going to have a good effect in the human body. A small farmer is not going to have the ability to go in and catch that crop at its peak of its value with all of those constituents working in the plant. They're not going to be able to catch it by going out every 2 hours and micro distilling because they just don't have the resources to pull that off. So I love that Young Living is constantly watchful of the plants and always making sure that they're the best that they can possibly be. So when it comes close to the harvest, they go out and they're watching as that plant material inside just grows and grows and grows and grows. And then when it starts leveling off, it's time to bring that harvest in. So they bring the whole harvest in, and then they start the distilling process where they're put into steam condensers, and the steam just works through the plants at the perfect temperature to make sure that it's getting all of the value out of the plants. And it's just amazing. And then when it comes out, they run it through an 8-step process to make sure that they caught it at the peak, that it's the best that it can possibly be. And then they third-party test it. It's an incredible process. So I just trust the way that they bring that plant material in, and the stewardship that they have over the plants means the world to me. And that is what a grade A oil is, all right? Organic plants distilled at the perfect temperature so that you get the peak of the plant. Grade B oils are food grade, but they can contain synthetics, pesticides, fertilizers, chemical extenders, or carrier oils. And people come to me and they're like, why does that matter, Sarah? Like, is it that big of a deal if it's got a fertilizer sprayed on the crop? Absolutely, it's a big deal. I know you may not be able to afford organic produce every single day. I can guarantee you with 5 children, I don't eat organic produce all the time. But there's a big difference between an oil that's sprayed and an apple that's sprayed. If you eat an apple off an apple tree, you're getting 1 apple sprayed with pesticide. If you're using an oil where the whole crop has been sprayed, I mean, picture a rose field where they spray the entire crop with pesticides and then they bring it in. It takes 60,000 rose blossoms to make 1 ounce of rose oil. Can you imagine the concentration of the pesticides? I mean, that's like eating the whole apple tree sprayed with pesticide. It's not safe to consume an oil where the whole crop has been sprayed like that. Great sea oils are perfume oils, and they often contain adulterating chemicals. They usually use solvents like hexane to get a higher yield of oil per harvest, and solvents are almost always cancerous. It's what's in a lot of the cheap oils. If you open it up and you smell it, it smells like alcohol. A lot of the times they will use alcohol in the extraction process with a solvent as part of the extracting. And a lot of those solvents are very, very dangerous for the human body, definitely toxic for the human body. And it's one of the things I have a hard time wrapping my mind around is clean living families go to the farthest lengths to get good beef, grass-fed beef. They recognize the value between mechanically separated rib meat that they find at the grocery store and good grass-fed beef that they've gotten from a local farmer. They know the value in that, and yet when they look at an oil, a $4 oil off a store shelf contains the same value to them as a $20 oil off Young Living site, and it's just not true. The value is completely different, and the type of oil is totally different. Then there's grade D oils, and those are called floral water. They're aromatic only, and they're usually a byproduct of grade A distillation. So you have a company like Young Living, they'll have this amazing organic crop that they bring in, they distill at the perfect temperature at the peak of the season, and they pull all the oil out of it, and what's left is the trash water. It's the floral water, it's the garbage, it's the yuck, it's the byproduct. It doesn't do anything to the human body. It smells really, really good, but it doesn't actually do anything. And so they'll take that and then they'll sell it to another company, and then that company will take it and put 10% of that trash water in the bottle and fill the rest of the bottle up with a carrier oil, and then they call it 100% pure or therapeutic grade or organic, and it's just not. It's not the same product. It's not the same thing. So it matters. It matters where you're sourcing your oil. Why do oils companies sell oils more cheaply? To save money. If you spray your crop with pesticides, you've got more crop to distill. If you use a solvent to extract an oil, you can pull more oil out. And if you dilute with a cheaper oil or a carrier oil, you stretch the oil that you've distilled. So oils are sold more cheaply because companies cut corners. I remember a friend of mine came into the radio station one day and she said, "Sarah, you'd be so proud of me. I just came back from France and I got frankincense oil in France." And I was like, "No way, frankincense oil from France. That's so cool." I said, "Let me see it." And so I looked at it and I said, "How much did you pay for this oil?" And she goes, $12. And I said, $12? Are you kidding me? What do you mean $12? Like, frankincense is a $90 oil. Why did you pay $12 for frankincense? And she just looked at me and she said, "Well, you know, it says on there that it's 100% pure." And then I asked her, I said, "Do you know what it takes to distill frankincense oil? I mean, the tree itself is a twisted tree. It's hard to even get to. And then they got to tap the tree, kind of like a maple syrup tree. And if you've ever watched maple syruping, it comes out and it takes 40 gallons of maple syrup to make 1 gallon of actual syrup. They got to boil it down. Well, as the frankincense comes out of the tree, it's liquid, but it hardens into this resin, and they have to scrape it off the tree, and it almost looks like chunks of plastic. And then they take that and they put it in the distillery, and it takes 3 days to turn that frankincense back into an oil, into a beautiful essential oil. And so I asked her, I said, "You know, if it was $12 a bottle for 3 days of labor to make that oil, what are you paying? Like 10 cents an hour?" You're like slave labor, you know? So your oils are based on how difficult it is to extract them, how difficult it is to distill them. So lemon oil is only like a $10, $11 bottle of oil. It's not very expensive to make lemon oil because you just take the rinds and you cold press them. It's the same way that oils are made back in biblical times. One of the main ways was cold pressing. But frankincense, if you're going to distill it correctly, it's got to be at that perfect temperature in the distillery for 3 days. And that's what makes it so pricey. It's hard to work with. So if you see an oil that's really cheaply priced, my first question would be, how do they make it? What corner did they cut to be able to make that oil? Let's talk a little bit about how essential oils are made. It takes a great deal to produce just a tiny amount of essential oil. 60,000 rose blossoms to make 1 ounce of rose oil. Lavender is abundant. 220 pounds makes 7 pounds of oil. Jasmine flowers have to be picked by hand before the sun becomes hot on the very first day that they open, making it one of the most expensive oils in the whole world. It takes 8 million hand-picked blossoms to produce 2.2 pounds of essential oil. A sandalwood tree has to be 30 years old and 30 feet high before it can be cut down to be distilled. But a little bit goes a long way. Most oils in the Young Living site are $10 to $30 a bottle. And a 5 milliliter bottle, like our RC right here, has 90 drops in it. And a 15 milliliter bottle, which is even larger, has 250 drops. And each application is 1 to 3 drops, meaning even a small bottle, you're going to get 45 to 90 applications. 45 to 90, that's a lot. A little bit goes a long way. So how do oils work when they hit your body? When a fragrance is inhaled, the odor molecules will travel up your nose where they get trapped by olfactory membranes that are well protected by that lining of the nose. And each molecule fits like a little puzzle piece into a specific cell receptor site along the lining of the membrane and that epithelial lining of the nose. And each of these nerve cells are replaced by your body every 28 days. So I have people asking me, well, Sarah, if oils are so powerful, then can't they damage me? Can't they hurt my body? And my response is, well, God knew what he was doing when he designed your body, and your skin cells are shed every 28 days. They're constantly replaced, the part that touches the oil. When stimulated, that nerve cell triggers electrical impulses to the gustatory center, which is where that sensation of taste is perceived, and the amygdala, where emotions are stored, and that limbic lobe of the brain. And because the limbic lobe is directly connected to amazing parts of the brain, essential oils can have profound effects on the human body. So are they safe? Well, there are some oils that are photosensitive, meaning you don't want to put them on your skin and then go spend all day gardening or going out to a fair or out at the farmer's market, because it's going to want to photosynthesize on your arm and you can get blisters on your arms. So just check to make sure that you're not putting a photosensitive oil on your skin before you go outside. Test all oils to see if they bother your skin. The first time that I'm using them, I always use a carrier oil. There's two different types of oils on the earth. You've got carrier oils and then you've got essential oils. Essential oils are very, very tiny molecularly. They're smaller than viruses. And carrier oils are very big molecularly. They're large. So if you're putting both on your skin, the essential oil has to ping pong through the big molecules of the carrier oil to get to your skin. So if you ever put an oil on and you get a little bit of redness or you have a bit of a burning sensation, put a carrier oil on top of it, and it's going to slow down the absorption rate into your body so your body can't draw that oil in so fast. You find an oil that your body wants and it's pulling it in really, really quickly. So you want to slow it down so that you're a little bit more comfortable. Examples of carrier oils would be coconut oil or olive oil. Most of us have that in our kitchen and we use it to cook with. So I always like to keep those handy whenever I'm using an essential oil, because you never know how your body is going to respond to the oil on a given day, because it depends what you've been exposed to. There's some oils you don't want to diffuse because they're strong, like cinnamon or oregano. Always be wary of putting oils topically near your eyes. Some oil like peppermint can cause a burning sensation. And if you ever put an oil near your eye, you want to flush your eye with water? No, because what do you know about oils in water? Well, oils float on the surface of the water. So what I tell people to do is put a little bit of that carrier oil on your skin, like some olive oil, and then just rub your eye with the olive oil and it'll dilute it basically. You can become desensitized to an oil if you use the same one day after day after day after day. So I rotate my oils out every 3 or 4 days. I have a challenge for you today. When you wrap up this DVD, I want you to go into your house and I want you to pick 3 different cabinets in your home and just flip over the bottles of what you're using in your house. Do the little label ingredients read that my husband and I did when we were on the GAPS diet. Take a look at some of the things you're putting into your body. You know, open up your cleaning supplies cabinet and run into your laundry room and take a look in your bathroom and in your kitchen and just read some of the things that you're using every single day. And you'll find it's really convicting. And I'd encourage you to start swapping some of those things out in your home. The average woman applies 300 chemicals a day to her body through 4 things: soap, makeup, shampoo, and hair care. Essential oils have one ingredient. It's just one thing. It's lemon. You know, it's oregano, it's peppermint leaves, you know, it's just one ingredient in it. So it's pure, it's safe for you to use for the human body. The last thing I want to talk to you about, and then we're going to wrap up our 101 lecture, and you're probably sitting there going, good, because I got so much information in my head, I don't think I can cram any more in there, Sarah. A lot of people come to me and say, Sarah, I don't even know where to start. Like, that is like so much information. Where would you recommend that I begin with essential oils if I want to start integrating them into my home? And my favorite place to start is with a Young Living premium starter kit with a bamboo diffuser. The bamboo diffuser is my favorite on the Young Living website. A premium starter kit is a fantastic, fantastic kit. It's based off the most heavily used oils that Young Living has. Oils for just about everything you could possibly imagine in your home, from starting to swap out some of those cleaning supplies, emotional support. It's just amazing, amazing uses in the home. And it's the only thing on their site that's about half off. It's $160 for a Young Living premium starter kit. If you take the diffuser off, you're getting 11 bottles of oil for $70, and you can't even get that at the grocery store. And this is amazingly pure, incredible oils. So this is the place that I would point you to. So let's talk real quickly about what's in a Young Living starter kit. Frankincense oil comes in the starter kit. I'm so excited that they include this one. It's one of the top skin oils. It helps to smooth the appearance of skin. It's a key ingredient in Young Living's Brain Power Oil, and I diffuse it during prayer time to help with grounding and help with purpose. So if I'm sitting there going, what was I saying? What was I praying about? Squirrel. I love diffusing frankincense. Also, lavender oil comes in the Young Living starter kit, and you can diffuse this for a calming, soothing scent. You can unwind by adding a few drops of it to a nighttime bath. It's the oil of relaxation. It's also one of the top oils to support healthy skin, and it's called the Swiss Army knife of essential oils for all of its uses. Peppermint essential oil comes in a Young Living starter kit, and this supports your gastrointestinal system. It promotes healthy bowel function. I just did it. I used the word bowel in a 101 class. It's enhanced healthy gut function. It maintains the efficiency of your digestive tract, and it may support performance during exercise. The next oil in a Young Living starter kit is purification, and this I diffuse to freshen the air and to help eliminate odors. You can add it to a carrier and massage under the feet to soothe the feet. You can add it as a carrier to moisturize your skin, and you can use it in a spray to enjoy an annoyance-free outdoor experience. Thieves essential oil, also included in the kit, and this helps to support a healthy respiratory system. You can add a drop in hot drinks for a spicy zing. It helps to maintain overall wellness when taken as a dietary supplement. Stress Away, my favorite oil in the kit. It is addicting, I'm just warning you. Absolutely love it. It's got lime oil in it. Also promotes wellness and may be an important part of a daily health regimen. It's also one of the top emotion oils in the Young Living starter kit. Lemon enhances the flavor of foods, and water, it's a key ingredient in Thieves and Ningxia Red, which is a drink that Young Living makes out of Ningxia berries. It has a citrus flavor, and it may help to support the immune system. Pan-Away, you can apply this to after exercise to soothe your muscles. It has a stimulating aroma. You can apply it to the back and neck for a soothing aromatic experience, and it supports the appearance of healthy skin coloration. Copaiba is one of the exotic oils. This oil is only made by Young Living. It promotes overall wellness, and it supports nearly every system in the body. It's also a great skin oil. Dai Guys, also included in the Young Living starter kit, and it's a top oil for supporting your digestive system. You can add 2 drops to water with a drop of peppermint for stimulating beverage. You can take it in a veggie capsule internally and use with every meal along with Essential Zyme to support a wellness regimen. Essential Zyme is one of the supplements on Young Living's website. And then RC, also included in the kit, supports a healthy respiratory system. I love this one in a diffuser, especially if you can use it in the diffuser in the bathroom, in a small space with that shower going in the hot water. You can diffuse it for a comforting aroma. It contains eucalyptol. You can rub it on the feet and chest, and it encourages an atmosphere of comfort. All right, how many out there are overwhelmed? The nice thing about a DVD, instead of watching me live, is you can stop me and you can rewind me and you can slow me down as well if I am not making a lot of sense. I told you where I would recommend starting is picking up a Young Living premium starter kit with a bamboo diffuser. How do you do that? You just hop on the Young Living website. It's youngliving.com. There's a button that says Become a Member. Click on that and then select the premium starter kit with a bamboo diffuser. It's going to ask you for a sponsor and an enroller number. I would encourage you to find the person that gave you this DVD and use their sponsor and enroller number, because you're blessing them. You're blessing their family financially by getting your kit from them. I'm so excited that you're interested in learning about oils and that you're interested in learning about using the oils. You are part of our Young Living family. Guess what? You have just survived Essential Oils 101. Thank you for hanging with me for half an hour. It was an honor to be able to teach you a few things about essential oils, and I hope you pick up a few more of our DVDs and continue learning about essential oils, and pick up a premium starter kit because it's going to change your life. It's absolutely incredible. I love having oils in my home. I love the way I feel when I use the oils, and I know you're going to get excited about them too when you start using the oils in your home. So thank you. You're officially now an oiler, and I hope to find you online. Thanks.